Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Tina Sacred Flame. So, what will happen in your love life? Let's see. Oh, you have such a big impact on this man. I don't know what you are doing to him, honey, but you melted his heart. This is what I can tell you right away. I don't know, but there is something about you, something very special, because this man is thinking about you much more than you probably know. The way he remembers you, the way he looks at you, the way he is trying to understand what exactly happened to him. Okay, secret tarot card. 8 of Cups. Wow, 8 of Cups. Now, usually people see 8 of Cups and immediately they say, oh, somebody is leaving. No, not necessarily. Symbolically, 8 of Cups is somebody realizing that his old emotional life is not enough anymore, and this is exactly what I see with this man. Something changed. Maybe before he was saying, I don't need serious relationship. Maybe he was protecting his heart. Maybe he had some disappointment before, you know? Maybe he was simply enjoying his life and he thought love can wait. But then, you showed up, and suddenly this man is looking at everything differently. I have this feeling you probably already know him. In some cases you are dating with him. Could be friend, could be acquaintance, could be colleague, could be somebody you are talking with, somebody you see from time to time, whoever this person might be. But I think there is already some type of contact. And look at this 8 of Cups. He is walking away from something. But honey, I don't think he is walking away from you. I think he is walking away from the man he used to be. The man who could say, I don't care. The man who could keep everything casual. The man who could hide his feelings. Because now he wants something more. And I bet he wants this something more with you. He might even say to you, I don't know what you did to me. I was not looking for this. I was not planning this. But I can't stop thinking about you. And wait. Because there is something much bigger here. This man is not only asking himself how he feels about you. He is starting to ask himself what he needs to change in his life if he wants to keep you. This is different. Very different. So now I need another card. Because 8 of Cups shows me what he is leaving behind. But the next tarot card will show me exactly what this man is walking toward. Is he walking toward love, commitment, or something much more serious? Let's see. Oh, Judgment. But look, Judgment reversed. Okay, this is interesting, very interesting. Because now I understand where this 8 of Cups is taking him. Honey, this man is walking toward a decision. A real decision. Not only, do I like her? No. I think he already knows he likes you. This is more like, what am I going to do about this? Because Judgment is somebody looking at his own choices, his own behaviour, his own life. And reversed. I feel like he has been trying to delay this moment. Maybe pretending he still needs more time. Maybe telling himself, let's just see what happens. I don't need to define anything. I can think about this later. But honey, later is becoming now. Because 8 of Cups already showed us that something about his old emotional life does not satisfy him anymore. And now Judgment reversed shows me somebody who cannot avoid looking at the truth forever. And the truth? You matter to him. Much more than he expected. I think this man is already imagining what would happen if he really chose you. Not halfway. Not only when it is convenient, I mean actually chose you, seeing you more often, talking with you consistently. Knowing where he stands with you. Maybe making plans and not waiting until the last minute. Maybe saying, okay, this is my person. This is the woman I want to spend my time with. And this is why his behaviour can start changing. Little things first. He might contact you more. He might suddenly want to know what you are doing next weekend. Where you are going. Who you are spending time with. He may become more interested in your plans. Because now he is not looking at you like somebody temporary. Look, that is important. He is starting to think about how you fit into his life. Not only how he feels when you are around. There is a difference, a big difference. But, wait. Because Judgment reversed also gives me one concern. He knows more than he is saying. I really feel this. He may already know what he wants with you. But something inside him is making him hesitate before saying everything openly. And I don't think it is because he doesn't care. Actually, I think it could be exactly the opposite. Maybe this became so real that now he is afraid of what happens after he admits it. So I need to see this. Because if this man wants you this much, what exactly is stopping him from simply telling you? What is he afraid of? Let's get another card. Oh, Six of Cups, but reversed. Okay, now I understand. This is not somebody who has no feelings. No, honey, this is somebody who has feelings and does not know what to do with all of them. Six of Cups reversed can show me somebody who learned to protect himself emotionally. Maybe because of the past. Maybe because before, when he opened his heart, things did not go exactly how he hoped. So now when something becomes important, he gets careful, very careful, and I think this could explain some mixed signals you have noticed. Maybe one day he is very close, talking, interested, looking at you in that certain way, and then suddenly, quiet or distant. Maybe he answers you and then disappears into his own thoughts. Maybe he finds some little reason to be around you, but when the moment becomes too emotional, he acts like nothing happened. And you could be thinking, okay, what is going on with this man? Does he want me or not? Honey, I think he is asking himself almost the same thing. Not because he doesn't know his feelings, because he knows what accepting those feelings would mean. He would have to become vulnerable. He would have to make space for you. Change some priorities. Maybe give up some of this independence he has been protecting for a long time. And look, there is something else. I think his biggest fear may not even be that you reject him. No. His bigger fear could be realizing how much it would hurt if he lost you. That is different. Because before maybe he could walk away from somebody and say, okay, whatever, life goes on. But with you, I don't think he can say this so easily. He may watch you more closely than you realize. Notice who is talking with you. Notice when your energy changes. Notice when you become a little less available, maybe even become slightly jealous or protective sometimes. Not necessarily dramatically. Just enough that you can feel something is happening underneath. And remember 8 of Cups. He is already leaving the old version of himself behind, so even if he tries to go back to being detached, I don't think it feels comfortable anymore. You changed something. And now, wait. Because I feel like he can hesitate only for so long. Something is going to happen that makes staying silent much harder for him. Could be something you say, something he sees. A conversation. Maybe even one small moment when he suddenly realizes, if I keep waiting, I could actually lose her. Oh, now I need another card, because I want to know what pushes this man out of hesitation. What happens that finally makes him act? Oh, 4 of Wands. Okay, wow. Now this is interesting, because I asked what finally makes him act, and look what we have. 4 of Wands. This is not a card of somebody wanting to keep things casual forever. No, this is somebody suddenly seeing what could actually be built here. Something stable, something real. And honey, I think this is exactly what starts putting pressure on him. Because maybe before he thought, she is here, we have time, I can figure this out later. But now? Something makes him realize you are not going to stay in this undefined situation forever. Maybe you become a little busier. Maybe you stop giving him so much attention. Maybe he sees somebody else appreciating you. Nothing dramatic, but enough. Enough for him to suddenly think, wait, what if somebody else sees what I see? What if I wait too long? And this is where his energy changes. Because what looks like jealousy here, I don't think it is only jealousy. I think it is fear of missing his chance. Big difference. He might start contacting you more. Maybe suddenly he wants to know when you are free. Maybe instead of saying, we should hang out sometime, he actually gives you a day, a time, a plan. He could start asking more questions. What are you doing this weekend? Are you seeing anybody? What do you actually want from a relationship? And you might notice he is trying to create more private time with you. More one-on-one time. Because 4 of Wands makes him think beyond the moment. It makes him think, could this actually become something? And, honey, I think the answer inside his head is becoming yes. This is why I feel the momentum is starting to move faster. Especially before next month, there could be a window where something becomes much more obvious. Not necessarily marriage tomorrow. No, but movement, a noticeable change. Something that makes you say, okay, he is not acting the same anymore. And wait, because 4 of Wands is also about defining where you belong. So I don't think his next move is going to be only flirting, not only compliments, not only looking at you. I think he wants to understand where he stands with you, maybe even change what this connection is called. Oh, Now that is serious. Because if he finally gets you alone and starts this conversation, what exactly is he preparing to say? Let's see. Oh, 8 of Wands, but reversed. Okay, wait. Now this makes sense, because 8 of Wands usually wants to speak. It wants movement, messages, things finally happening. But reversed? Honey, this man has been holding something back. Words. A conversation, maybe even a confession he already had in his head many times. He knows what he wants to say. But every time he gets close to saying it, something stops him. Maybe timing, maybe nerves, maybe he starts thinking too much. But look, after 4 of Wands, I don't think he can keep this inside forever, because now the conversation becomes almost necessary. He may come to you and say something simple first. I need to tell you something. Or, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to feel this way, and maybe he will not give you some huge speech. No. I actually think this could be more natural, more direct, something like, I think about you all the time. I don't like not knowing where I stand with you. I want to know where this is going. And honey, that changes everything. Because before, maybe you were reading between the lines, looking at his behaviour, trying to understand his silence, trying to understand why he comes closer and then pulls back. But now, he starts putting words on it. And I think one of the biggest things you will notice is how his language changes. Before it was, I'm doing this, I'm going there. My plans, my weekend. But suddenly, what are we doing? Maybe we could go somewhere. We should plan this. What are we doing for the weekend? Maybe even talking about holidays. A trip, meeting people important to him. Something a little further in the future. And that is what catches my attention, because when somebody starts placing you inside his future without even thinking about it, that tells you a lot. A lot. And wait, I feel there is another layer here. This is not only about finally admitting, yes, I have feelings for you. I think he wants to know if the two of you can actually build something. Not only date, not only talk, not only have beautiful moments. Build. There is that word again. Build. And after 4 of Wands? Honey, I cannot ignore this, because that card already gave us home energy, stability, belonging. And now I have this feeling the next card is going to show me how far his mind is going with this. Is he thinking only about making you his girlfriend, or is he already imagining something much more permanent? A home, a family, a life where you are simply there, beside him. Okay, I need to see this. Let's get another card. Oh, Page of Pentacles. Okay. Now look at this. This is exactly what I was talking about, because Page of Pentacles is not only somebody dreaming about a future, this is somebody asking, how do I actually make this work? Very different. Honey, I think this man is becoming practical about you. Maybe he already imagined the romantic part, being close to you, kissing you, spending more time together, all of that. But now his mind could be going into everyday life. Real life. What would mornings with you look like? What would weekends look like? Could you travel together? Could he bring you around his friends, his family? Could there eventually be a place where both of you say, this is ours? And I know, that sounds much more serious, because it is. Page of Pentacles is small steps towards something solid, so I don't think he wants to promise you everything overnight. No, he wants to feel like he can actually give you something real. And this man may start changing practical things because of that. Maybe he becomes more focused on money, work, his living situation, his schedule. Maybe he starts thinking, I need to get this together. I need to be more stable. I can't keep living only for myself. And remember what I said in the beginning. He is asking himself what he needs to change if he wants to keep you. There it is, right here. Because commitment is not only, I love you. Sometimes commitment is, I made room for you. I changed my schedule. I planned ahead. I thought about what you need too. And honey, I think this is where he is going. From feelings into effort. From imagination into something practical. Even little things could show this. He may remember something you need. Offer to help you. Plan around your time. Start talking about something months ahead as if he already assumes you will be there. And then maybe he catches himself. Like, oh, I just included her in my future without even thinking. Wow, but wait. Because Page of Pentacles also tells me he wants to feel ready. And that means there could still be one thing he believes he needs to handle first. One responsibility, one decision. Maybe something in his lifestyle, his work, his past. Something that makes him think, before I ask her for something serious, I need to deal with this. So now I really want to know. What is this final thing standing between the man he used to be and the man who is ready to fully choose you? Let's see. Oh, strength. Okay, now this is important, very important, because strength is not somebody running away from what he feels. No, this is somebody realizing, I need to handle this differently. I need to become stronger. I need to stop hiding behind excuses. And honey, I think this is exactly the obstacle, not another person, not some huge dramatic situation. I think the obstacle is whether this man is strong enough to change the way he has been living. Because maybe before he could always say, I'm busy, I have too much going on, I'm not ready, maybe later. And those words protected him, they kept everything comfortable. But now, comfort could cost him you, and I think he knows this. For some of you, this could be work. Maybe his schedule is crazy. Maybe there is distance. Maybe he needs to organize money better. Maybe there is something from his past he needs to finally stop carrying into the present. It can be different for everybody, but symbolically, strength says the same thing. He has to make a choice. Does he stay inside the life that feels familiar, or does he make room for the future he keeps imagining with you? Because you melted his heart. Okay, but feelings alone are not enough, now he has to show you. And this is where I think you start noticing something real. Maybe he makes plans with you ahead of time. Not tomorrow, not last minute, ahead. Maybe he says, I want you to meet somebody, a friend, family member, somebody important to him. Maybe he starts talking about exclusivity. Maybe he asks, what do you want long term? Or if this became serious, what would that look like for you? Honey, that is not casual conversation. That is somebody checking whether the future he sees in his head could actually exist in real life. And strength tells me he is becoming brave enough to hear the answer, even if it scares him. Because I think this man is reaching the point where losing you feels scarier than changing his life. Wow, that is the shift. That is devotion. Not just wanting you, choosing the changes that come with wanting you. And wait, because the energy changes completely after this. I'm looking at what wants to come next, and okay, this is the type of energy that makes you stop. Because when commitment, home, future, and this kind of serious decision start appearing together, you have to ask the question, wait, are we talking about marriage? Oh, 4 of Cups, but reversed. Honey, look at this. Okay, now I understand why this came after Strength, because 4 of Cups reversed is somebody waking up, somebody who suddenly realised, wait, this opportunity is right in front of me, and I could lose it. So are we talking about marriage? I'm not going to tell you 4 of Cups by itself is a marriage card. No. But in this reading, after 4 of Wands, after Page of Pentacles, after Strength, this changes everything. Because this man is no longer sitting there wondering whether he should take you seriously. He is starting to understand that, if he wants a future with you, he needs to reach for it. He needs to choose it. And honey, this is where I start seeing that husband-type behaviour. Consistency, making plans, checking what you need, wanting to make your life easier somehow, thinking ahead, not disappearing every time emotions become serious. Maybe he starts saying, tell me what you need, I'll take care of it, let's figure this out together, there is that word again, because his mind is moving away from only, what do I want, and toward, what do we need. That is a very different man from the one we saw in 8 of Cups, remember? He was walking away from the version of himself, who could keep everything casual. And now 4 of Cups reversed says he is finally recognising what is being offered emotionally. You, this relationship, this possibility. So before next month, I do feel there can be a major shift around commitment for some of you, maybe becoming official. For some, meeting family, talking seriously about living together, maybe discussing marriage, maybe even talking about what engagement would look like someday. The exact step can be different. But the psychological shift is the same. He stops treating this like something he can leave undefined forever. And honestly, I think that is where this groom energy comes from. Not only a ring, not only a ceremony, but a man starting to behave like somebody who wants to stay, somebody devoted, somebody thinking, how do I build a life with her? But, wait, There is one thing I find very sweet here. For all this confidence he is developing, I think he is nervous. Very nervous. Because once he makes his intentions clear, he cannot pretend anymore. Your answer matters. A lot. Maybe more than he wants you to know. So now I want to see something. When he finally shows you, I am serious about you. What is he secretly hoping you will say? What does he need to see from you? Let's get another card. Oh, 2 of Swords, but reversed. Okay, wait, this is actually very interesting. Because 2 of Swords reversed is somebody who cannot stay emotionally closed forever. The walls start coming down. The decision that was avoided needs to be made. And honey, I think this is showing me something about you too. Because this man does not necessarily need some huge declaration from you. No. I think he needs one simple thing. To know that he is not walking toward you alone. That if he opens his heart, you will not immediately close yours. Maybe he needs to hear, I feel something too. Or, I'm open to seeing where this goes. Maybe you simply accept the invitation, you stay present in the conversation, you tell him honestly what you want, nothing forced, nothing complicated. Because look, earlier in this reading, he seemed like the one with all the control. The one holding back. The one deciding when to come closer and when to become quiet. But now, I think the situation has reversed a little. Because once he accepts how much you matter to him, your response becomes very powerful. He has something to lose now. And I don't mean you need to play games with him. No. Actually, the opposite. What melted his heart was probably something genuine about you in the first place. The way you speak. The way you treat him. Your warmth. Maybe your strength. Maybe the fact that you did not have to chase him to make him feel something. You were simply you. And somehow that reached him. So when he finally becomes direct, I think what gives him courage is seeing that same honesty from you. A small moment could do it. You saying, I appreciate you. Or yes, I want something real too. Maybe even simply looking at him differently when he finally tells you the truth. And honey, that could be enough. Because 2 of Swords reversed says the uncertainty starts breaking. No more pretending nobody knows what is happening. No more hiding everything behind silence. A choice becomes visible. 2 people actually acknowledging, okay, there is something here. And wait, because I want one final card. One card for what happens after this. After he stops resisting. After you both understand what this connection actually means. Because we started with a man walking away from his old emotional life. And now we have reached the point where both of you may finally be looking at each other without all these walls in between. So what happens next? What does this become once he stops fighting what he feels? Let's see the final card. Oh, the Devil. But reversed. Wow. Okay, honey, this is actually such an interesting final card, because Devil Ray first is release, breaking a pattern, finally loosening the grip of something that controlled you for a long time. And suddenly the whole reading makes sense. Remember where we started? 8 of Cups. A man walking away from the emotional life he used to accept. Then Judgment reversed. Knowing something has to change, but delaying the decision. 6 of Cups reversed. Old emotional protection. 4 of Wands. Seeing something real with you. Page of Pentacles. Trying to become ready. Strength. Finding courage. 2 of Swords reversed. No longer being able to hide behind indecision. And now, the Devil reversed. Honey, he is releasing the thing that kept him stuck. Maybe fear, maybe his need to control everything, maybe this idea that relationships take away his freedom. Maybe an old habit of keeping one foot outside the door. Whatever it is, symbolically, he is realizing he does not need it anymore. And I think this is the biggest transformation in the whole reading, because you did not force him. You did not drag him toward commitment. Something about knowing you simply made his old way of doing relationships feel empty. He may look at you and think, I was not looking for this. I really thought I was fine by myself. But now I can't imagine just walking away from you. And wow, that is where I see this devoted energy. He becomes more direct, more consistent, more willing to plan, more willing to say what he actually wants. And before next month, I do think there can be an important change in how this connection is handled. For some of you, making the relationship official. For some, a serious future conversation, meeting important people, talking about living arrangements, talking about marriage. Maybe taking one very clear step that makes you realise, oh, he is not playing with this anymore. Does everybody watching wake up tomorrow with a wedding ring? No, honey. But the groom energy here is very difficult to ignore, because this man is moving toward the mindset of somebody who wants to stay, somebody who wants to build, somebody who starts thinking about you as part of his future. And I love that our final card is reversed, because the ending is not him becoming trapped by love, it is almost the opposite. He stops being trapped by his fear of love. That is beautiful. He started this reading trying to protect the man he used to be, and he ends it realising maybe that man is exactly who he needs to leave behind, for you, for this relationship, for something real. Okay, honey, that is your reading. And this man? I really think his heart is much softer toward you than he ever expected it to become.